What if one of the sweetest things you've been told to avoid was actually helping people manage their blood sugar better than some so-called diabetic-friendly foods? Sounds backwards, doesn't it? For decades, seniors have been told, sugar is the enemy. Fruit is risky. Stick to bland, boring meals. But a growing number of studies, and even a few shock doctors, are discovering something completely unexpected. Certain sweet fruits are doing the opposite of what we feared. They're not spiking blood sugar. They're helping stabilize it. Not only that, they're protecting aging cells, supporting memory, and making meals feel joyful again, without guilt. Imagine enjoying something naturally sweet, feeling full and energized after, and watching your glucose readings come back better than before. And no, we're not talking about rare exotic superfoods or bitter powders. These are everyday fruits you might already love, but probably stopped eating years ago out of fear. One man in this story made that same mistake. Now, his results have even his doctor rethinking everything. But before we continue, if you believe aging well doesn't mean giving up everything you love, tap that like button and subscribe to this channel. Because today, we're going to rewrite the rules. Eugene Blakemore was 71 when he made what he thought was a life-saving decision. He threw out every last piece of fruit in his kitchen. Bananas, gone. Grapes, gone. Even the strawberries his late wife used to freeze for Sunday pancakes, gone. He didn't just avoid fruit. He feared it. For most of his adult life, Eugene was a train conductor in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He worked long hours, traveled across the Midwest, and ate whatever was quick and convenient. When he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes at 67, he promised himself he'd clean up his diet. So he did what most people do, he listened to the loudest voices. Fruit is just nature's candy, one headline warned. Cut out sugar in all forms, another shouted. So Eugene lumped apples, berries, and melons in with soda and pastries, and cut them all out. At first, he felt in control. He tracked every carb, skipped every dessert, and ate the same bland meals day after day. But after a few years, the cracks started to show. His energy dipped lower. His cravings got stronger. And the worst part? His blood sugar readings weren't improving. He found himself staring into the fridge late at night, wondering how he could be doing everything right and still feel worse. Then came a conversation that changed everything. During a visit with his granddaughter, her college nutrition course came up. She mentioned how certain fruits, when eaten with fiber or protein, could actually support healthy glucose responses. Eugene scoffed. "You can't tell me sugar helps blood sugar," he said. She smiled and replied, "Grandpa, it's not about the sugar. It's about how the body uses it. Some fruits have compounds that help insulin work better." That one sentence planted a seed. Eugene didn't rush out to buy berries that day. But he did start reading. And what he found shocked him. Some of the very fruits he'd been avoiding were full of fiber, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory properties that supported aging bodies, especially those with diabetes. He wasn't just cutting sugar. He was cutting nutrients his body actually needed. Have you ever thrown out something healthy out of fear? Ever felt stuck between doing what you're told and doing what actually makes sense? Let us know in the comments. You're not alone, and Eugene's just getting started. For many seniors, the word fruit has become almost taboo. The fear is real and understandable. That sweet burst of flavor might send blood sugar soaring. So, to be safe, fruit often gets cut completely out of the diet. It feels like the logical choice when managing diabetes or prediabetes. But here's the truth that many don't realize: not all fruits behave the same way inside your body. Yes, fruit contains natural sugars, but it also brings something much more important: fiber, antioxidants, vitamins, and plant compounds that actively support your metabolism. These compounds can slow down how quickly sugar enters your bloodstream. They can even help improve your body's response to insulin, the hormone that controls blood sugar. The problem is that many older adults don't get this full picture. Instead, they hear fruit equals sugar and stop there. Eugene was exactly the same. He thought he was protecting himself by cutting out all fruit, but he was unknowingly missing out on key nutrients that could actually help him. Two fruits, in particular, stood out in his research. They aren't exotic or hard to find. They're sweet, familiar, and delicious, and they do something surprising: they help the body manage sugar better. These fruits contain antioxidants that reduce inflammation in the pancreas, which can improve insulin production. They are also high in fiber, which slows sugar absorption. By avoiding all fruit, you might feel safer, but you could also be closing the door on an easy, natural way to support your health. Imagine cutting yourself off from a source of healing simply because of a misunderstanding. That's what many seniors face every day. Do you avoid fruit because you fear it will spike your sugar? Tell us below, what fruit do you miss the most? The next chapter will reveal the first fruit that surprised Eugene, and how it changed everything. You won't believe how simple and sweet this fix really is. Sweet Fruit 1, the Blueberry Breakthrough. Blueberries may be small, but their impact on blood sugar and overall health is truly mighty, especially for seniors like Eugene. At first glance, you might assume that eating anything sweet, even a tiny berry, would cause a sugar spike. That's a common worry among those managing diabetes or watching their blood sugar closely. But blueberries break that rule in a remarkable way. Yes, they're naturally sweet, but they rank low on the glycemic index. This means they release their sugar slowly and steadily into your bloodstream, preventing the sudden highs and dangerous crashes that can leave you feeling drained or craving more. What really makes blueberries special are the powerful compounds they contain, especially a group called anthocyanins. Anthocyanins are the pigments responsible for blueberries' deep blue-purple color, but their benefits go far beyond just giving the fruit its beautiful hue. Think of anthocyanins as tiny warriors inside your body. They help improve insulin sensitivity, which is key to controlling blood sugar. Here's a simple way to think about it. Insulin is like a key that unlocks your cells so sugar can enter and be used for energy. But with age and diabetes, sometimes those locks get rusty and the keys don't work as well. Anthocyanins act like oil for those rusty locks, helping insulin do its job more easily and efficiently. Blueberries are also rich in fiber, which is like a natural traffic controller for sugar. Fiber slows down digestion and absorption of sugar, keeping blood sugar levels steady over time instead of letting them surge suddenly. For Eugene, incorporating just a small handful of blueberries into his morning oatmeal made a huge difference. He began his days feeling more energized and stable. His glucose readings reflected this too, with fewer extreme dips and spikes. No more roller coaster blood sugar swings, just steady, smooth energy that lasted through the morning. But the benefits don't stop at blood sugar control. Blueberries also support heart health and brain function, two areas that become especially important as we grow older. They reduce inflammation and protect your cells from damage, helping seniors stay sharper, more vibrant, and mentally alert. If your breakfast routine feels plain or predictable, adding blueberries is an easy step that packs a powerful punch. Eugene's story is a perfect example of how a small fruit can lead to a big shift, not just in health numbers, but in confidence and quality of life. Do you have a favorite fruit you enjoy with breakfast or throughout the day? Share your go-to fruit with us in the comments. We'd love to hear about your morning rituals and healthy habits. And remember, this is just the first of 2 surprising fruits that can help manage blood sugar naturally and deliciously. The next one might surprise you even more, so stay tuned and keep watching for the next sweet secret that doctors can't believe. Sweet Fruit 2, the Watermelon Twist. Watermelon often gets an undeserved bad reputation among seniors who are trying to manage their blood sugar levels. At first glance, it makes sense. After all, the bright red, juicy sweetness of watermelon seems like the last thing you'd want to include in a diabetes-friendly diet. Many people assume that watermelon's natural sugars would cause a quick spike in blood sugar, leading to a crash and feelings of fatigue or worse. But here's the surprising truth that many don't know. Watermelon isn't just a sweet, refreshing summer treat, it's packed with 2 incredible nutrients that can actually support your health in ways few expect. These 2 key players are lycopene and citrulline. Lycopene is a powerful antioxidant that gives watermelon its vibrant red color. This isn't just about looks. Lycopene has been studied extensively for its ability to reduce inflammation throughout the body. Why does this matter? Inflammation is a hidden enemy that can make blood sugar much harder to control, especially as we age. It interferes with how well insulin, the hormone that regulates blood sugar, does its job. By reducing inflammation, lycopene helps your body respond better to insulin, improving blood sugar control and supporting overall heart health. But lycopene isn't the only superstar in watermelon. There's also citrulline, an amino acid with a unique role in supporting healthy blood flow. Citrulline works by relaxing blood vessels, which can improve circulation and help lower blood pressure, 2 critical concerns for seniors living with diabetes. Good blood flow means your organs and muscles get the oxygen and nutrients they need to function at their best. At first, Eugene, our 71-year-old retired train conductor, was skeptical. For years, he'd been avoiding watermelon because he believed it would send his blood sugar soaring. Eating watermelon felt like breaking a rule he'd been carefully following to manage his diabetes. But Eugene decided to give it a try, with a small twist. He started pairing a few cubes of watermelon with a handful of walnuts. Why walnuts? Walnuts add healthy fats and protein to the mix, which slow down how quickly sugar from the fruit enters the bloodstream. This helps prevent blood sugar spikes and keeps energy levels steady. The combination turns a sweet treat into a balanced snack that doesn't just taste good, it supports steady blood sugar and a more stable mood. The result? No sugar crash. No guilt. Just a refreshing, guilt-free snack that feels like a reward, not a risk. For Eugene, this small change gave him newfound freedom. He could enjoy one of summer's sweetest fruits without fear or worry, something he hadn't experienced in years. Can you picture yourself enjoying this sweet and savory pairing on a warm afternoon, feeling refreshed and confident? Would you try this surprisingly simple snack? If so, type yes in the comments to let us know you're ready to give this surprising combo a chance. Remember, managing blood sugar isn't about strict restrictions or boring diets. It's about finding smart, enjoyable ways to support your health every single day, without giving up the foods you love. So next time you reach for a snack, think about how a little watermelon with some walnuts might just be the sweet twist your body needs. Aging changes a lot in our bodies, sometimes in ways we don't even notice until they start affecting how we feel day to day. And one of the biggest shifts that sneaks up on many of us? Digestion slows down. The food we used to process quickly now takes longer to break down. That sluggish digestion affects everything, from energy levels to how well our body responds to insulin. And insulin, as you may know, is the key hormone that helps manage blood sugar. But as we age, our cells often stop responding to insulin like they used to. It's like the lock gets rusty, and the key no longer fits. This is why so many older adults find blood sugar harder to manage, even when they're eating the same way they always have. But here's the part that doesn't get talked about enough: not all foods are the enemy. In fact, some, like blueberries and watermelon, can actually help your body function better. Let's start with fiber. We often think of fiber as something to keep us regular, but it's so much more than that. Fiber slows the rate at which sugar is absorbed into your bloodstream. This means instead of your blood sugar spiking rapidly after a meal, it rises slowly and steadily. That helps avoid the sudden crashes that leave you feeling drained, shaky, or craving more sugar. For seniors, that steady release of energy is gold. It keeps you more balanced, alert, and energized throughout the day. Now let's talk about antioxidants. You've probably heard the word tossed around, but what do they really do? The anthocyanins in blueberries and the lycopene in watermelon are powerful antioxidants. They reduce inflammation and protect your cells from damage caused by oxidative stress. Why does that matter? Because inflammation and stress don't just make you feel tired or achy, they make it harder for insulin to work properly, driving up your blood sugar over time. By calming that internal storm, antioxidants help your insulin work more efficiently, making these fruits more than just a snack. They're a tool to help you manage diabetes from the inside out. Eugene's story shows how real this transformation can be. When he added a few simple fruits to his routine, it wasn't just his glucose meter that noticed. His body started responding. He dropped stubborn weight, not by dieting, but by nourishing himself. His energy returned, not in a dramatic overnight way, but in a steady, reassuring rhythm. And maybe most importantly, he stopped fearing food. For years, Eugene lived with a kind of silent stress around eating. Everything felt like a risk, especially anything sweet. But when he discovered that certain fruits could support his health instead of sabotaging it, everything changed. He didn't go on a diet. He rediscovered joy. Joy in a juicy slice of watermelon on a hot day. Joy in the pop of flavor from blueberries in his breakfast. Joy in feeling good, without guilt. If you've been scared to enjoy fruit because of diabetes or the changes that come with aging, Eugene's journey is your invitation to reconsider. This isn't about eating everything. It's about choosing the right things, the smart things, that work with your body, not against it. Have you noticed changes in your digestion or energy levels as you've gotten older? How have you adapted your eating habits? Share your experience in the comments below. You never know who your story might help. And remember, the next step toward feeling better doesn't have to be complicated. It might be as simple as adding something sweet. For years, Eugene avoided fruit like it was poison. He believed every bite of sweetness would send his blood sugar soaring. He wasn't trying to be extreme, just careful. He thought he was protecting himself. But what he didn't realize is that fear can age you just as fast as any disease. The constant stress of wondering what food might hurt you. The second guessing at every meal. It wears you down, mentally and physically. Then came the shift. One conversation with his granddaughter's nutritionist opened a door. Not to a new diet, but to a new relationship with food. Instead of fearing fruit, Eugene began to understand it. And that's when everything changed. He learned that some fruits, especially the right kinds, aren't just safe. They're incredibly supportive for someone in their 60s, 70s, or beyond. Now, Eugene enjoys fruit every single day. No guilt. No fear. No spikes and crashes. Just smart, simple joy. He starts his morning with a bowl of oatmeal topped with a small handful of blueberries. Not because it's trendy, but because it fuels him gently, keeps his mind sharp, and makes breakfast feel special again. Later in the day, especially during warmer months, he reaches for a few cold cubes of watermelon, but never alone. He pairs it with protein. Usually walnuts, sometimes Greek yogurt, depending on what's on hand. This simple habit keeps his blood sugar stable while giving his taste buds something to look forward to. For Eugene, the biggest transformation wasn't just physical, it was emotional. He stopped seeing food as the enemy. He stopped seeing his age as a limitation. And for the first time in years, he felt in control again. That's the real sweet truth. Managing blood sugar doesn't mean stripping all joy from your plate. It means learning which foods work with your body, and which don't. It means making informed choices, not fear-based ones. And it means giving yourself permission to enjoy the simple pleasures again. If you've ever looked at a piece of fruit and hesitated. If you've ever felt like eating healthy meant bland, boring meals and missing out. Let Eugene's story be a reminder, it doesn't have to be that way. Small, thoughtful changes can help you feel better, move easier, and even smile more often. You don't need a massive overhaul. You just need a little clarity, and a willingness to try. So let's end on this. Between blueberries and watermelon. Which one shocked you more? Which one challenged your assumptions? Type it in the comments, blueberries or watermelon. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being smart, being kind to your body, and embracing a sweeter, healthier way to age. If this video helped shift your thinking about fruit, even just a little, go ahead and tap that like button. That small action helps more seniors find the truth buried beneath all the confusion and fear. Know someone who's been avoiding fruit for years? Send them this video. It might be the gentle nudge they've been waiting for. And if you're ready for more grounded, real-world tips that actually make aging feel empowering, not overwhelming, subscribe to Better Aging Advice. We're not here for gimmicks. We're here to help you feel better, move better, and live better, one smart change at a time. And this? It's only the beginning.